What is up, Facebook world? It is Scott Sparrow, host of Driven. This is the Driven Network podcast, and I am getting more and more excited as we figure out new avenues, new paths to take this show. And it is seriously, today's a struggling day. I got to be honest with everybody. If you might know, I've been going through some shoulder surgery, and today was my first day of physical therapy. And the part of that was it was rough, man. It was extremely difficult and it took a toll on me. But like I've always said here, it's helpful to have somebody by your side because all day long I thought to myself, how am I going to do the show tonight? How is it going to work? And I thankfully have a co-host riding shotgun with me now. He's sitting right next door to me. I kind of forgot to go solo on the screen, so you've been there the whole time.
And I'm just sitting here.
I hope you were picking your nose, buddy. But hey, I'm nervous, and this is all new. So I'm gonna take a minute and get this shared out to our personal pages real quick because this is live on the Driven Network page.
Yeah.
And so we gotta show the friend, man. We gotta show the Driven family where to find us at. New platform, new pages.
With this new platform, I'm not really sure how I can share it out to my page. So that's something we're gonna have to figure out, Scott.
That's it, man. That's all of this is carving new paths, brother.
Yeah, dude. I mean, new opportunities, right?
That's it, and that's what we want to talk about tonight. Definitely, I like that you came up with that. There it is, dude. Check it out. It's on the page. It looks dope.
Yeah, buddy.
So share this out real quick.
The one thing that we got to figure out is how we can see the comments on this side, Scott.
Oh, here, check this out. I got a button for that. And once somebody actually comments, we will be good to go. That's it. And that's what. All right. So now this is on my page. Honestly, if that's what we're going to do. So here's what we do. Lesson learned. Number one about finding new paths is I'll go live with just my face on the page. And then you can hop onto the Driven Network podcast page and you can share it to your page. So your friends, your family, your followers, everybody you've connected with over the years has a place to get with you every week. And then once I bring you up, or maybe, I don't know, somehow you could probably share it to my page, I'm sure. If you just tag me in it or something, I'll approve you and it'll work, man. We gotta get the people here. We already got 3 of them on. I can't see who it is though. That's kind of a bummer. Well, drop a comment, everybody. Hey, again, I know that you guys are just cycling in and we've kind of already introed ourselves, but if you guys want to drop a comment and let me know you're here, I'd like throw your name, say, hey, what's up? Glad Driven's back. Like, I'm gonna see him in my feed on the right. So one thing people want that I want to tell people, oh cool, Taj is on. That's a cat I want to get on the show for sure. That guy, he is carving new paths. He's blazing new trails in a big way. I'll tell you about him a little bit, but we're gonna get him on there. So again, as you guys feed in, throw it up there, say hi, just say hi. Let us know you're here and let us know how you like the new look of things, and we'll church it up.
I mean, every week it's something new, right? That's what we're going for, and just bringing different people on and having new conversations. And, you know, it's not all about the sledding industry anymore. It's just branching out to different industries and talking with people that, you know, have the same dream in a reality, but some people don't know how to make it happen. Some people do. You know, let's help everyone make the dream happen, right? Like, that's what I want to see out of this show, and you know, showing people new opportunities and helping people grow and them helping us grow, right, Scott?
Yes, brother. And so much of that is like snowmobiling for you and I, it is a giant part of our life, but
It is
in
my life. Very
perspective,
similar.
I mean, it pretty much rules my day-to-day activities on a regular basis, but in reality, it's not that much of my life. I mean, my job consumes way much more of my year than actually touching, feeling, riding a sled. And I know a lot of people out there are the same way. And there's just a lot of wealth of knowledge that people can take from outside industries, outside professions, and bring it into their lives in the snowmobile industry, and not only thrive as a rider and an athlete,
Yep.
but as business owners, entrepreneurs, from top to bottom, personal life, professional life, all of it. It touches everything. And people like Taj, I mean, they're doing it. They're out there. He's really. I could actually probably bring him on here if he wanted to jump on, and we could try out the three-way right out of the gate before we even know what we're doing.
We could make that happen. I mean, this is the second episode. We've already stepped it up. We're already here in a totally different platform, making moves, firing it up, changing things.
Right. Speaking of changing things, if you want a close up of us, we can go classic Facebook style here. Like there we are, bringing it in.
We are here.
Yeah. So it's fun. I got a new toy. I love new toys. I like new things. I like fresh starts. I like new beginnings.
Yep.
And the heart. So I want to go in and back a little back. I said it in the intro, but as people are starting to cycle on, I want to touch on it again. So today I had an extremely trying day that put me physically and mentally in a place that I hadn't really been for a while. Just with the physical therapy on my shoulder, it was a new level of pain, and that kind of pain does things to my body that I wasn't really ready for, because I haven't been like legit injured in a while. I mean, I've been nursing sore stuff. It happens. I've lived a pretty aggressive lifestyle as you do as well, but it drained me, man, and I couldn't. Old ways, if you will, old ways. I felt drained all day. I guarantee you I'd have had 3 or 4 cups of coffee in me, and there would have been a crash coming, and it would have been uncontrollable. But I was down, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't like get natural pick-me-ups to get my energy and get the pain to subside. But it just put me in a crazy mental spot all day today. And this right here was a big hurdle to come on here live. So Cody, thanks for talking me into it. You totally did. I got to admit it. I almost lazy voiced out on myself.
That wasn't going to happen.
And I'm right. So guys, we got 6 people on here now. I don't know who the 6 people are. So just throw me a hey, what's up if you would. I would definitely appreciate it.
So, Scott, speaking of new opportunities, I want to give a shout out to a kid that wrote me today. His name is Devin Thornock. He rides here in Alpine. This kid's been following me around the backcountry for 5-6 years now. I met him when he was like 13 years old, and he was on a Skidoo Red, right? And his dad came to me, and he asked me if I could teach his son how to ride, right? So I absolutely, I would love to take him out and teach him how to ride and, show him what's up. And he wrote me today with this message from Climb. And he goes, "What's this mean?" And I read through the messages, and the little kid got sponsored by Climb today. That's huge, like blew my mind. And I had such a busy day today. I haven't even been able to get back to him, and I had to make sure that Driven happened today because you were definitely not with me.
I was hurting, man. I still am. I just want to go. I still got to go to the gym tonight. Like I have to, and it's not going to be an aggressive night, but dude, shout out for him. Congrats.
Yeah.
How old is he, you say?
I think Devin's 19 now.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a cool man. What a cool feeling.
Last year, and he was just pushing hard. I mean, he was hitting jumps side by side with me last year. Like we went up to Man Bowl here in Alpine, and we were hitting the money booter, and that's a big one. And this kid's throwing it sideways, 1-footers, and I'm just like, yeah, buddy, that's so
Nice.
sick. I'm so stoked to see that, you know, and just it's so cool to me to just watch the progression of people over the years, you know. Just I'm super pumped for Devin for sure.
If you can pull, that's when you pull. So the ability to help somebody level up in any way, in shape or form in life, that energy, that vibration that you get as a ripple effect, as a secondary effect, where none of it's, you know, self-motivated, self-driven. It's all about, you know, pushing the other person. That is got to be one of the most empowering feelings I've ever experienced. I absolutely enjoy that 100%. So shout out to him, man. And hey, Brent, let's bring him on one of these days. Let's have a chat with it. Let's put him in a panel, surround him with 2 or 3 other guys that you know have been in the industry, or maybe not even the industry, but and so that's kind of what I want to vision for this show and let people know a bit about this. Is it's going to be Cody and I on the show, and then ideally we can have 2 or 3 people, a panel of sorts. And it's not all, again, we don't want to just commit ourselves to snowmobilers, but, you know, say if we got on one side, we had a businessman that's straight up business. And then we had a young kid that's a rider, maybe doesn't know if he wants to go to college, go to trade school, or just hit up the coal mines and hit that gas money or whatever to feed his hungry. And then just some funny old, you know, guy that's got that positive energy, that vibe, and then we can just chat it out for an hour about things. And I think so many people could draw from that, and because we're pulling that network together, and it's really what the Driven Network is. It's a place that I kind of started blindly, and man, it's helped me tremendously. I mean, the people on the show right here, 100% from it. So that was kind of my goal with the reasoning and the purpose behind kicking this off and getting this new platform to be able to do it on.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like helping people out, like in the snowmobile industry, that's so huge to me. And just outside of that too, you know, like just making cool things happen, and you know, I don't know, man. I just enjoy it. It fuels me. I have a really good time.
Perfect. All right, what do we got? We're running 16 people live on Facebook. If you guys didn't know, guess where else we're live?
YouTube.
So we're dual streaming right now. We're going live to Facebook, and then we also have a channel going live to YouTube. And I see both comments. So if you're on YouTube, feel free to drop a comment, say hi, what's up, all my 25 followers I have over there. We'll get it, man. It's a place to store the content that's not Facebook. That was one bummer with the 60, 70 some episodes of Driven I did. They're like really hard to find without having a special page dedicated to it, which always kind of bummed me out. And plus you're censored pretty hard on abilities to play music and do things like that on Facebook. So this gives us more opportunities.
Absolutely, man. Bigger opportunities.
So let's chat about, I don't know, man. We needed a plow. Excuse. But let's chat about something.
What are the comments right now?
So we got Nina Wagner, Tahoe David, or Nina Clifton, David Wagner, Travis Belanger. I always have a hard time with your last name, buddy. Sorry. Just saying, yo, what's up? Hi, Nina's here. And a few people probably just swinging by, checking it out, and being like, what is going on? I don't even know what it looks like. I gotta look. I gotta see what it looks like on my Facebook page. Not gonna lie. How do you guys? Let me know. How's it sound? 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up. I got a mic here.
There's no lag, dude. I mean, it's really working out good. So I just saw on Facebook that you just got your fly order.
Dude, like, yes, I did.
You pumped?
It's so weird. And one of the posts I put on Facebook, like, I feel like I'm a dude that loves the sport, and this is, I think, why Fly enjoys being with me. I love the sport, normal dude, pushing myself. I help people. I'm active in the clubs. I'm active in my area, land issues. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and still to this day. So I got a box last year of Fly stuff. Amazing support, and I got it again this year, and it's hard. It's such a humbling, like, honorable thing to be a part of. It's new to me, and it's insane. On top of, I ain't gonna lie, man. Fly has. I started talking to him about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I never really saw them as a backcountry company. I mean, heavy moto killed the moto scene. They had some great trail wear, which I didn't know anything about because I ain't be doing the trail thing. And so, I mean, I had some hesitations, and they reassured me. They're like, what's coming, what's coming. Just believe it, believe it. And they weren't really showing it or talking about it a bunch. This year, it's all kind of come together. They've broke free of the straight black giant racer look style, if you will. The colors, dude, the colors are popping. Fresh. There's a fresh hat right there. This is the sport material. Favorite thing is their helmets. So I have a kid, super duper want to keep him safe because I wasn't. I stacked concussions like they were freaking dominoes growing up in the rodeo world and didn't know anything about them, and just, the old school mentality, you just toughed it out and you went back and you got on the next day, regardless of how you felt, without any break, without any really understanding of what a concussion is. So the new Formula helmet, it's full carbon shell. It's got the most state-of-the-art, brain protection in it. And I love being with a company like that I could recommend somebody a helmet and I know it's going to be comfortable and it's going to keep their brain safe. And then as a kicker, it just looks so sweet.
Yeah, you look really good in that gear, buddy.
Thank you, man. It performs, dude. At the end of the day, it performs. Great stuff. Anybody, feel free to DM me with questions. I've now touched and felt almost everything they have in the backcountry line and rode in most of it. So I'm happy to tell you my honest opinion because, like I said, dude, like, it's cool they hooked me up with gear, but I'm not going to recommend stuff to somebody that's just because I get it free. Here you go. Try, you know what I mean? Well, not necessarily free. I work my tail off for it, but I want to be a resource for people with that. So,
yeah, for sure.
What's
how did you create that opportunity,
dude? I took a step. I just pressed play. Honestly, I went with Driven unselfishly for. Oh, we lost you. I went with Driven, and I was just doing something that was fun. It was helping me, and somebody reached out and said, "Hey, take a look at this kid." And kid, I say, 40 years old. 40-year-old, feel like a kid other than my wing. Somebody just connected the dots for me, and they asked me. They're like, "Hey, would you be interested?" And I'm like, "Hey, I don't really know. I'm not really a pro guy," but started the conversation. And honestly, Colin Clovis, I met him out at Heydays before I really signed with him. And he had done some work with somebody that I knew from a long time ago in the rodeo industry. And we really had a conversation about how I carried myself, through the rodeo ranks, and related a lot to work that he's done inside of not necessarily the rodeo industry, but a company that was kind of fed off of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it felt good. And then talking to other athletes, that do ride with Fly, they do take, it is, when they say it's a family. I got the moto experience, the Fly moto, the kids, the youth, it's a very, very fun company to be part of.
So Fly was actually one of my first sponsors.
Yeah.
When I got into the industry 10 years ago, and yeah, they were an amazing company to work with back then. And right after that, I started riding for Thunderstruck, and Team Thunderstruck's obviously sponsored by Climb. And
Yeah.
we parted well on that, and I went to Climb, and same thing, man, as far as that feeling that you get with working with companies. I mean, I feel like every company that we work with in the snowmobile industry is just amazing, right? I mean, there's really no way else to explain it, right?
I love it. I love it because they seem to be pushing each other now, and it's not pushing each other with, marketing per se. It's the technology, which when innovations in technology and companies start competing with each other, guess who's the winner of that? Like, we get the benefits of their competition or their strive to improve and then make the next technology better. I remember riding a ton growing up in just the crappiest of whatever was available, and we all did. It was all there was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's really fun. It's really fun to watch it grow and watch the technology improve, the safety, man. A guy can damn near hunker up in any gear that, any name brand outerwear gear. He could hunker up in the mountain for the night and be pretty safe that he's not gonna lose all of his tentacles.
For sure. What other opportunities are you going for this winter?
Push myself, man. I don't know. I'm not. Again, I do have a chaos coming this season, which is pretty rad. I just actually went and talked to the dealership last week about some other stuff, and it was super cool. They're a newer snowmobile dealership. They're an older dealership, but they just brought snowmobiles into their business. So he's extremely willing to help area riders. He's offering deals for Michael Cycle Works in Carson City. He's offering club memberships. He's going to buy anybody that buys a sled through him. He's going to sponsor a club membership for them to get them in the door and get them connected. And I think this year that's huge. I'm pretty sure the ski resorts are going to be limited capacity, so a lot of people are going to be going to the motorized to get their turns in. But yeah, I don't really. I mean, I don't. That's not really what I'm doing it for. If
by opportunities, I was just wondering like where you're going to push yourself to as far as like, what you're going to do on that sled.
Dude, I'm going to do my 1,000 bow ties.
1,000 bow ties.
1,000 bow ties. I've heard if you to get good at anything, you need to, like when I was riding bareback horses, they say once you hit 1,000 bareback horses, that's when it actually connects and clicks. So I figure if I can just do 1,000 bow ties this year, like all the way up the trail and all the way down. And that's part of the drive on why I'm doing so much work, rehabbing my shoulder. But, I could heal this shoulder up anyway. I don't need to do 75 workout, 2 workouts a day for 75 days. But I know to be able to, where I finished off last year, I've shared quite a few of those pictures. I, number one, didn't ever see myself doing that. And then opportunity kind of met experience and met conditions. And boy, when you hit the right lip and look where you want to go, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling watching that sled come around and you're just like, oh, there's the ground. Like, that was rad.
It's like the first time you ever stomped a 360 on a snowboard, like looking. Oh, there's the ground. Toe side in, stamp. Yeah. No.
So yeah, I've been stuck on.
Go ahead.
I've been stuck on the 163 axis for a few seasons now, and excellent snowmobile, but they are designed stay planted and keep the skis down. And that's what it did. So I'm really looking forward to be able to have the skis in the air and do a little jazz.
You just gonna leave it stock, or what's your plan?
Well, I would like Polaris to write us a little letter and say, hey, we understand we didn't give you guys a short tunnel this year, but if done right and signed off and initialed, you can go ahead and take 5 inches off any tunnel that we sell you. That's what I'd like to do. No,
That's the cool cats, man, is you can just cut however much you want. You don't even need that rear tunnel half.
No, it just depends on how much snow you want on you.
Yeah. No, I've been running the short tunnel for 2 years now, and
it makes a difference.
It really does. And just climbing, like not wheelies or anything like that, but just climbing in general, it makes such a big difference because there's really nothing back there holding you back anymore. Because whether you realize it or not, that tunnel is in the snow. But that chop tunnel, getting it up higher out of the snow, it makes a huge difference. And then side hilling, it's insane. It's insane.
It's a serious improvement. Skidoo guys, like, congrats to you. I'm stoked you guys got that on the expert cat guys. I'm glad you can just straight chop it at the seat, but I'd really like to see something out of the Polaris next year. But even with it, last year, so I rode. I was fortunate enough, Tahoe Throttle hooked me up with a sled because he kind of robbed a bunch of parts off mine to get his going, and so I got to spin the whole. Shout out to Ryan. I got to ride a 155 with a 163 kit underneath it, and it does, man. There's so many times where I'm like, "Okay, I'm toast. I'm done," and then it just keeps digging in the snow, and it's like, "Wait, I'm not done anymore. Like, I'm not stuck. I'm still doing whatever I want to do." And there was one time specific where it just, because I'd rode it for 2 or 3 days, and I'm like, all right, I can kind of tell it, but I wasn't really using it. It was a deep day, March. We just got like 6 feet of snow. COVID just hit. Tahoe was shut down. The entire mountain, like the entire thing. There was nobody anywhere except for like the crew of like 8 of us just mobbing all these sweet spots. So we were in the deep. Nothing crazy, nothing steep, just a spot, and everybody was kind of stuck, and I wasn't. And like I went up and I rode through a couple people that were stuck, and I hit how the side of the trail just turns straight, is basically straight up, and next thing I know, I was on it, and I'm like, oh, I am done. I'm toast here. It's not going to go good. And I just, to the bars, hopped over the seat a little bit, and that track just kept chewing down, and then it hit it, and I just whipped right out of it and landed right back over. I'm like, that is not possible on a long tunnel sled. So at that point, my life changed forever.
Yep. It's pretty insane. I definitely enjoyed that chop tunnel life, as Chris Brandt says. Chop tunnel life.
Top ton of life. So dealers out there, if you watch this and you catch this, man, maybe work with us on the warranty a little bit if we show up and it doesn't really look like it normally should, but it's all wrapped and got a rogue bumper on it. You can't really see it.
Notice.
Nobody will notice.
No. Mm-mm.
If you're taking it in to get warranty, they're looking at the front of the sled, not the back of the sled, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. It's just sure. we don't worry about chassis.
A little deep. I'm not doing that, actually. Anyway, so no public claims here. Hey, Michael Flower. Yeah, man, it's glad to be back. We got a few people on now. We're running about 12 people on the show, which is cool. We're just getting the wheels turning on this. We're just, honestly, people, like, this is us trying this new software out. I didn't know how it was going to work. I hope on the end user's end it's a good product. It looks amazing on our end.
Yeah, so much easier to communicate now rather than doing it through Facebook.
The headphone game, maybe the headphones pick up the noise a little better than what we're doing, but we'll watch this episode and get some feedback from people and go from there.
So Justin Walker called me this week. Right, it was Thursday. He called me, and he was so stoked on the show. He's like, dude, that's exactly what I needed in my life right now. Just he was pumped, and he's been on the show before, and he's like, this is exactly what we need. So I think, Scott, that we're going in the right direction and making cool things happen, and I'm pumped.
I do too. I completely agree. And people out there, what we're looking for, again, I'm going to revisit this as people are cycling in and out, is having mixed panels. It's a little less of an interview show. Oh, dude, I'll hold off on that. We'll talk about that down the road a little bit. But this is I want to do a mixed panel show, and it, like right now it's about sledding, but it's not always going to be just about sledding. It's, we had an amazing snowmobiler. I interviewed her early on in Driven. She just wrote a book about personal finance and how to take care of your business before your business takes care of you on building wealth and building income. She's a snowmobiler and personal financial advisor. Somebody like that could touch both worlds, because honestly, the burning question a lot of people have, I think, is how do people ride like they ride, and then also, prepare for life, have all the boxes checked that they need. It's an area I've struggled.
Well, honestly, I feel like for me, I pretty much quit doing everything else. I quit riding dirt bikes 3 years ago. I go surfing during the summer, which keeps me sane. But I mean, during the summer, I don't do a lot other than just work and work and work. That way, I can, outside of bills and everything like that, I can afford to ride during the winter. I can afford, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm still on a 2015 chassis and I have two of them. And
it's because Arctic Cat hasn't changed it.
Not really. I mean, the motor's stronger. Well, I don't know. That Suzuki motor, though. Whew, I mean, I put some power. I was running almost 9,000 RPMs for 4,500 miles. And then I lost a crank bearing. It didn't blow the whole motor up, just a crank bearing.
That makes it affordable. Because then a guy can put a couple grand in it and tune it up each, season. He's not burning 15 grand every time the bell rings.
In my entire career of riding, I've never had a new snowmobile.
Yeah.
I've always had, I've always bought used, and then I've teamed with amazing companies, and I'm like, okay, guys, I got another used sled. And they're like, oh, all right. And, the Cat chassis, I've just become, I know it so well now. Parts and pieces are so interchangeable, and all the way back to, 2010, they're interchangeable. I mean, some parts, like right now. So I had Mark Freeman out here last year, and right before he got here, I blew a motor. It locked the crank bearing up, and he was flying in the next day. Justin Walker dropped off a motor to my shop that Monday, I think it was. The motor blew up on Wednesday. Mark was coming in on Friday. The motor that he brought me was out of a 2007 or 2008 chassis. Liberty motor, or not Liberty, Suzuki motor. I mean, changed the motor mounts, slapped her in there, threw a clutch on. We went road for the week. That motor rips. And, you don't, for me, I don't need all the new stuff, As long as
you have a certain set of skills though that you bring to the table to be able to do that and function like that. Like I couldn't flip a motor out, and I mean I could with some help, but Just the fact that like, oh, motor blew, boom, I'm gonna throw a new motor in it. To me, it's a little bit overwhelming. I'd be like, well, I'm down for a couple weeks while I figure this out and YouTube for a few days and call my friends and be like, hey, anybody, and then probably just take it to my cousin's house and have him do it and help me. But I feel like you can, a guy can compensate that, especially take a young kid. You get the more mechanical you get, the cheaper the sport can essentially be, or you're looking at buying new each season, if you will.
Yeah, you just prior preparation prevents piss poor performance, right?
Yeah.
So, like in my situation, I know going into the season now, 10 years into this, that, I'm going to need this, 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 and this. So I go to Heydays and go buy everything used that I know I'm going to break on a constant basis and, go that route. That way there isn't downtime, and I can make it out there when people want to ride, and I know that I go way too hard on my sled. It's always
Hey, let me hit you with this question for the people watching. What do you, because you have a good perspective with this, like the latest and greatest. So many people, and it's not just in sleds. It's I can't wear the same gear 2 seasons in a row. I need a new, I need to look the part. Like I need the new helmet, and the guy right next to me has done it in films with what he could scrape together, and you could get to the mountain. You should hit that a little bit, because I know we kind of touched it on being able to do it, but there is a mindset play there where people literally feel inadequate and you know what I mean? It's something to overcompensate or to compensate for feeling inadequate if you don't have what you think you need.
That's insane to me. So what was it? 3 years ago, I think it was Thunderstruck 15. I was driving an 89 Honda Accord with a sled deck on it.
Whatever it takes.
With my freshly purchased 2015 Cat that already had 2,500 miles on the chassis. It was mint, dude. And with that comes struggles, but you don't have to dress the part. I mean, going back to Devin, we spoke of him in the beginning of the show. When he came and when his father came to me and asked me to take him riding and teach him some things, he didn't have gear or anything. But this is back when I was sponsored by Fly, and he had some older gear and everything like that. So I invited him over and I gave him a full set of gear and shin guards and everything he would need to make it to where he could actually get out there and we could go places. But it was my used gear. I wore it the year before and he was pumped. And now, today, he's writing me and saying that he just got sponsored by Climb. And that kid, he has put in the work. He didn't care what he looked like. He didn't care that he was riding a rev. He was just out there doing it, enjoying the sport, and having a blast, because that's what this is all about. Like, yeah, I mean, the films and everything make it look like everyone's set and everything like that, but all these riders that are in these films, we all have outside jobs,
Oh yeah,
we work our asses off, and yeah, I mean, you don't have to play the part. Just get out there and ride your snowmobile, just like anything else.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's for the love, and it might have been a dumb question, but somebody out there, I know myself in not the snowmobile world, but prior, like, showing up to rodeos, it's like you look around and you're competing against that's one thing about in the rodeo industry. If you're fresh out of high school and you're going, say, to an amateur rodeo, there's nothing that stops the world champion from stopping by that same exact amateur rodeo and getting on right next to you. So I'm an 18, 19-year-old kid, and we're going to these rodeos where I'm looking at people and I'm like, holy crap, like I don't have that. My chaps ain't shiny. Well, they actually kind of were, because my mom loved me and she always took care of me super well. But it's you feel it. They roll up in the new trucks with the campers, and you're in the broken caddy with the muffler that drags, and like it was whatever you could do to get to the next rodeo. But there was that competition feeling that's like, man, at the time I'm sitting back thinking they have it so much easier. Basically, they like, it's kind of hard. It just popped into my head. It's to formulate it, but I don't know. You just, as a kid growing up, it kind of, in the rodeo world, it was intimidating. That's the word I would use. Intimidating.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is intimidating. It's intimidating for me to this day. When I roll into the Alpine parking lot and there's all these trucks and trailers, and I'm kind of a shy, keep it to myself kind of person in public. I mean, here I'm cool, but like I get around people, I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, it's intimidating. And, you roll into a parking lot full of Grant Edition trailers and everything like that, and you're rolling around in a Honda with a sled deck on it. I mean, it's intimidating for sure. I remember the first time that I ever went riding with Jim and Brandon to Dizzle. I was intimidated as it got. Those two guys, I had no idea what I was getting into. But don't let your intimidation hold you back.
Yeah.
You got to push through that and let your talent show, no matter, what you're driving, what you're riding. That's why, going back to Devin a little bit, he was on a 2005 Rev back when he first started riding with me. First year was, we got to take him some places, but the next year he really excelled. And I always told him, just believe in yourself, man, and you can do this. You can take that sled wherever you want. And he started to believe in himself, and he just got after it.
This wandering conversation's turning into pretty good value to somebody, I believe. And because there is a mindset play here that we all start on different chapters. Like, and the thing about it is, Michael Flower says it's like probably just a bigger payment. It's like, it doesn't matter, it ain't going to help you perform on the mountain at all if you can't manage your sled. But they're just playing with a little different stack of cards than you have. But it all comes down to knowing where you're at, being okay where you're at in the process. And there's some learning to do back there. That intimidation factor gets a lot of people. I'm not going to go to that parking lot because that's where all those guys unload at. It builds confidence to be able to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to show up. I'm going to deliver what I have, where I'm at in my journey, and let that speak for itself.
Yeah. When I moved out to Tahoe when I was 20, the first person I hit up was Duncan. And the only time that I actually got to meet Duncan while I was in Tahoe, he was helping me get my blown up Pro out of Castle Peak. And we were supposed to go ride all winter that winter, but I was never able to make it happen because I was so intimidated.
Yeah.
Now I look back on it, and I've rode with Duncan for years now. And by the way, Duncan, we need to make that happen again, like this winter, because it's been 2 years. But that intimidation back then held me back, and I don't know why, but it did.
It's a real thing, man. It's a real obstacle with anything to get out of, get out of the snowmobile parking lot, go drop a 19-year-old kid that thinks he's a mechanic in a professional cat shop,
Yeah.
and you're going to get hit with that same feeling, that same flush, that same emotion. But fall back on your principles, your values, and hold true to them. And man, it's so crazy. And you say that about Duncan, and you think you put, especially when it was just movies. I mean, it's a lot different now with social media and stuff where you get to see people's personalities and their day to day, and there is a little more of a human factor to them than say there was when just the movies happened. But yeah, you place people up on these pedestals in anything, any industry, anywhere, and once you do finally meet them per se, or have that conversation, or get out in the snow with them, it's extremely it's overwhelming a little bit. You're like, hey man, dude gets stuck too. Dude messes up a pow turn too. Like, dude puts his pant legs on one at a time. It's the same as I do.
Well, some people jump into them. However,
Well, my stuff was starched so heavy I could just jump off the bed and land right in them, and I was good to go for another week.
Yep.
Oh man, dude, I gotta say thank you. I've had 46 minutes now of absolute fun, and this is, other than the feeling I got when I got my arm stretched the first time before the pain set in, man, this is the best I felt all day. So thanks for picking me up a little bit and
you're welcome, man.
and get me on this, man. That's what the network's about. That's the Driven Network. Try to build people up.
For sure. I mean, when you I don't mean to call you out, but when you send
Do it, man.
What are you doing? Like what are you thinking for tonight? I'm not feeling all that great. My shoulder hurts. And I was like, and I'm not going to text you back. I'm just going to call you and tell you we're still doing the show.
I wanted to puke all day. But it's a lot, dude. It's so in line with what I'm going through right now, and everybody on here kind of watches my channels. It's like the extreme accountability, the ability to overcome. I mean, I'm faced with that lazy voice, we'll say, every day with with chances, and it's hard to listen to the boss voice when you're not feeling so good, or you're tired after being up for a day and a half. Like, it's hard to perform at the level that you want to be at all the time when you're not 100%.
For sure. I know the experience very well from the last year. I felt like I kicked my own ass in all reality.
Oh yeah, we do it to ourselves.
I didn't see it that way at the point in time, which blows my mind. But that's all part of new opportunities, dude. You live and you learn and you keep growing, and you don't do that one again. And if you do, that's insane.
So with that, we're almost 50 minutes here. We got 10 people on here. I want to put it out there, and probably should throw a post up on both our pages this week, is let's set a goal to have, I think we don't want to get it too busy, but if we can shoot to have 3 guests on next week, and the idea is to have a topic, whatever it may be, and then have the ability to have the 3 people, lock them in, and honestly, it's not going to be a rehearsed deal. It's going to be a conversation, and it's going to go where it's going to go, but it'll be a centralized topic, and we'll just kind of round robin it and see if we can create this momentum, because I think it's I think that's kind of a good direction to go.
No, I fully agree. I mean, you titled the show. You and we didn't talk all day. We really haven't talked this week. So I helped you with a couple words, and we're like, all right, that's what we're going to talk about, is opportunity. And I mean, we just turned the talk about opportunity into an hour.
Yeah.
In so many different ways. I love it. It was great. It's awesome.
I'm gonna make a mental note of that though, because I don't see that title. I'm gonna make a mental note, and I'll kind of play as moderator to maybe, cue the conversation a little bit, but I got to write that down. And had I wrote what I wrote on the show title down, I could have probably got a little more
in depth,
dots connecting, not like so passy.
When you got crazy things going on, dude, dots don't connect.
No, they don't. You just try to just do whatever you can to get them close to each other, and then hopefully at the end of it, then you made enough stabs that they do come together, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So with that said, guys, we want 3 people. We don't know what the topic is. Next week, I'll throw a post up, and you 10 people that are on here, 9 people, you heard it first. So hit me up, and maybe I'll just ask for 2 people or 1.
This out. Invite your friends. Let's get some people on here. Let's get some conversation going. And let's make this a fun show. Like, who knows? You say the right comment, we might bring you on.
Right?
Just to have you on.
I can do that, and it's cool, and it's super easy, and we don't have to deal with Facebook anymore. I can just pop you in, and then boom, you're lasered right to Facebook. So with that said, people, I'm gonna let Cody sign off, and then I'm gonna do the clicky back to the one solo screen. But let's do it. Say your piece.
Hey guys, Cody Hunt here from Thunderstruck Films. I appreciate you guys watching Driven, the Driven Network. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, Scott.
Nice. I do believe that was a fun episode, and I cannot wait to build this and see where it's going. Right now, Rusty. Oh, I got to mute. There we go. I muted him so he can't hear his pin anymore. I'm rusty with this. I got a lot going on, and I'm excited to channel it through here. So thank you guys for sticking with me for an hour, and Cody Hunt as well. But my name's Scott Sparrow. This is the Driven Network podcast. The page that I shared to my page, if you haven't liked it yet, please go like it so you can get notified when we go live, and stay tuned because we got big plans, and it just takes a little time to get there because we're driven and we will not stop. Later, everybody.